All right, you're live.
Thank you. Um, just before we ask the president to start this Zoom meeting, I'd like to introduce who's on the call with us. From city staff, we have Judy Doyle, acting city treasurer, Leslie Duresh, finance manager, Sylvia Delot, acting budget director, Deb Ramirez, accountant 2. We have Kim Campbell from the city attorney's office. We also have Bill Davis, our financial advisor, and Zach Sakis, for our bond attorney. As well as we have several very important IT help specialists on the call with us. It is 8:05. Mr. President, would you like to call to order the MPC board meeting of December 29th?
Yes, I would like to call the meeting of December 29th to order. And I'll ask for the roll call? Or are you going to do the roll call?
I'd be happy to do that for you. Jim Jenkins,
Okay.
President.
Present.
Ken Harder, Vice President.
Present.
Judith Frost, Secretary.
Present.
Dennis Robbins, Treasurer.
Present.
And Freda Bisman, Director.
Present.
Okay. Mr. President, we have a forum. Before we move on to the business portion of the meetings, I would like to note that no public comment has been received.
Okay.
Mr. President, there is no old business to address, but would you like to move to new business, and would you like me to begin that discussion?
Yes, please.
Okay. On October 13th of 2020, the MPC board adopted and approved resolution number MPC 2020-01, authorizing the city to enter into an agreement in connection with the MPC's issuance of its excise tax revenue refunding bonds, taxable series 2020. Subsequent to the adoption of that resolution, the anticipated interest rates on bonds that will be issued by the MPC permit additional potential debt service savings by refunding and redeeming a portion of the bonds in a tax-exempt basis. Approval of a supplemental resolution, MPC 2020-02, will authorize the MPC to issue up to $145 million, which is still the original amount requested, in a refunding bonds of one or more taxable or tax-exempt series, and allow staff to react to favorable movements in the bond market. The actual maturities refunding and the timing of the bond sale and how much of the bonds will be issued on a taxable and tax-exempt basis will depend on prevailing market interest rates and determined by Judy Doyle, acting city treasurer, with the advice from Bill Davis, who is also in our meeting. I would like to invite both Bill Davis and Zach Sakis to add any comments to the discussion so far.
Zach, anything you want to add?
No, but available for questions.
And likewise, Gina, this is Bill Davis. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you. Mr. President, board members, are there any discussion or any questions at this time?
Yeah, Gina, Ken Harder. So to the extent we approve this resolution, is there a time limit where we expect to do the refunding, or is this going to be open for a limited period of time?
Well, according to our proposed schedule at this time, and this is assuming that market conditions don't drastically change, we would proceed with a bond sale in mid-January. And I see that Bill Davis has a comment. Bill, would you like to add to that?
Thank you, Gina. Mr. President, Mr. Harder, what I might add is, as Gina mentioned, we're hoping to post electronically the preliminary official statement following the January 12th council meeting, and which would be on the 13th, and then price that following week. In all likelihood, if assuming the market doesn't have a really significant swing away from us with higher rates, we'll be issuing in total somewhere around just under 60 million. And about 9.2 million of that is proposed to be tax exempt. Under current rates, the estimated savings on a present value basis is about 6.5 million. On a gross interest cost savings, it's about 7.4 million. So assuming, again, the market doesn't move away from us, interest rates stay relatively stable, kind of following up on what Gina said, we hope to be in a position to price and lock those rates in, on or around the 19th or 20th of January.
Thank you. This seems to make a great deal of sense to me.
Yes, sir.
Mr. President, would you entertain a motion to adopt resolution number MPC 2020-02?
Yes, Ken, you want to make the motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make the motion, and because it's 5 pages long or 4 pages long, I don't think we need to read it. But I defer to Gina on that. We've all been presented with the document. I'd like to move approval.
Mr. President, Mr. Herter, if you would like to make a motion as written, I believe that will be sufficient.
I make the motion as written.
Okay.
And
Is there
this
a
is
second?
Judy. And this is Judy. I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously.
Gina, this is Brian. You might want to do a roll call vote for the recorder.
Okay. Mr. Jenkins,
Aye.
Mr. Herter,
Aye.
Ms. Frost,
Aye.
Mr. Robbins,
Aye.
Ms. Bisman.
Aye.
Great. Thank you.
Motion passes unanimously.
Wonderful. Mr. President, would you like me to move on to the next item? Identification. I'm sorry, we have one more new item, and that's suggested dates for our 2021 January annual meeting. If there's any suggestions, I will take them now. Otherwise, I will circulate some potential dates through email.
Does anyone have a particular date that they wish to entertain? Or I think giving us some alternative dates by email would probably just be fine.
Okay.
Gina and
Yes.
fellow board members, I generally have conflicts on Monday and Wednesday. So if we can do a Tuesday or a Thursday, and I assume we'd be talking about it near the end of the month rather than the middle.
Anybody have a problem with that? So basically, we're looking at the 19th, the 21st, the 26th, or the 28th. Would that be correct?
That would be a preference.
The 21st, the evening of the 21st, or starting at 5:30, I have a conflict.
Okay, how about if we just do first thing in the morning again?
Sure.
Mr. President, board members, thank you for your suggestions.
And I have conflicts on the 19th and 21st, so it'd have to be the next week.
Is that Dennis?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually,
Well, why
those
don't we-
dates. Sorry, Mr. President. Actually, those dates would be nice. That way, we could get an update as to how the bonds were priced and to the extent they were issued.
Which
Okay.
dates?
Well, it sounds like we're here with the 26th and the 28th as dates. Do you want to just make a decision that we go with the 26th?
Sounds good.
Sounds good
Sounds-
to me.
Sounds good.
Okay. 26th it is.
Thank you, Mr. President and board members for that direction. Would we like to move on to the last item on our agenda? That's identification of future agenda items. Is there any potential items that you would like to place on the next agenda?
That would be the rotation of the directors, right? Of the president, vice president, secretary. That's when we do that. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. So is that an item that should be on the agenda?
We will add that. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, well, one of the items, and we normally do this every meeting anyway, is to identify future bond offerings or contemplated issues.
Okay.
I don't know if we have any, but that would be a good item to discuss.
Thank you. Yes, we will add that to the agenda. And we will
And
also.
if I could make one, and Gina, if I could make one other suggestion, given the current state of the economy, it would be nice if the board heard kind of where the city thinks it is relative to its own financial condition and how that may affect coverage of our bonds.
Okay, thank you. We will add an item that addresses the city's financial position.
And how it impacts our bond coverage.
Right. So I have.
Okay. Okay, hearing no other future agenda items, Mr. President, would you like to call for adjournment?
Yes, I will call for adjournment. Is there a motion?
I'll second it, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Yep. To you too,
Thank you.
Ken.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year,
New Year.
everybody.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina.
Happy New Year.
Thanks,
Thank
Gina.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Bye
Thanks,
Thanks,
now.
everyone.
Gina, for coordinating this.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.